Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast. Every Saturday night, a group of internet radio superstars sits in a basement, watches a movie, and then sits around a bar and talks about it for your listening pleasure.
And then we do it too.
These are the internet radio superstars.
Sean.
Michaela.
Holly.
And I'm Colin. And tonight this is the final pick, I believe, of our Listener's Choice month.
The last one.
What we did was we asked you what movies you wanted us to watch. You made a whole bunch of suggestions. We sat around. There was debates. There was
infighting, yelling, agreements,
backdoor dealings, and all this.
Yeah,
there
was money changed hands.
And we ended up with the movies that you've been listening to for the past month. This is the last one. And
Colin, what did we watch this week?
We watched a movie that was suggested by a user known only to us as 365 Feature on Twitter.
Oh.
And it was called Rock and Roll Nightmare. Or
I don't remember what the alternate title was.
The Edge of Hell.
The Edge of Hell. I always want to call it The Edge of Evil.
That's right.
Yeah. Neither are accurate.
No. Neither.
That's very true.
Nightmare is the only accurate part of this movie.
Dang. Tipping your hand.
Oh.
What did you really think of the movie? So, this is from the year 1987. It was directed by a fellow named John Fasano, who I'm sure never worked again, we hope. But it stars the man, the myth, the legend, Jon-Mikl Thor.
Young Thor.
And everybody's going, who the fuck is Jon-Mikl Thor?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
the greatest rock
Do you know who
musician
that
of
is,
his time.
Colin?
Yeah, I fell on the story. Okay, so
educate us.
There's a documentary out about this guy because he was in a band. The documentary is called I Am Thor, currently streaming on Netflix as of this recording.
My God.
He was in a band called Thor.
Okay.
I'm
just guessing on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, he was, I guess, like he started out as a bodybuilder who then became a naked waiter in some kind of New York underground, restaurant scene. And then he could also sing. And so he got picked up and became in this band called Thor. This was
this guy had a life.
While he was naked waiting.
Yeah.
Was he singing while he was naked waiting?
Maybe on the side or something. Our talent scout found him or something like this. I don't know. It's in the documentary.
Talent scout found him
in the naked restaurant.
And he started a brand of rock music called muscle rock.
Makes sense.
Muscle rock.
Rock.
Okay, so I mean, like I picked this movie based on 360.
Based on your love of muscle rock?
Suggestion based on my love of 80s hair metal.
Muscle rock.
All right.
Okay.
This is the music of my childhood. No. That was
Naked Waiting. You love Naked Waiting. Okay.
Metal. Before that, it was the muscle rock, which I had never heard of. This is what I'm saying.
I've never heard of it either.
I'm into this music and never heard of Thor. I've never heard of
that surprises
muscle rock,
me.
right? So I'm like, how big was this band? But apparently they had a following. Like at the time, there's all these photos of him hanging out with Ozzy Osbourne and, all these guys from Kiss and all that. So he was a contemporary of them, I guess, back in the day. But his stage show consisted of him blowing up hot water balloons until they popped because he's, a Superman, a He-Man of rock. And then he would also take a metal bar and bend it in his mouth.
So he's a prop comedian is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his big break
Gallagher.
came from the Merv Griffin show where he was on. And that was the thing that launched his music career.
Has he written a book?
There's a
I might watch this documentary.
I Am Thor.
Does it cover all this in the documentary?
This is the beginning of the documentary.
God,
and then the rest of
this.
the documentary is him in 2006 going on tour again.
Uh-oh.
Sounds really sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. 'Cause it's
Probably.
one of those, you were talking about the
Anvil, the story of Anvil.
Yeah. Does that get kind of sad?
I
where you're
mean,
like, these
because
guys are...
it has a very uplifting part at the end when they go to, I think, Japan where there's actually a huge crowd. Spoiler: where there's actually a huge crowd who are big fans of them, waiting for them. But leading up to that point, it's a lot of disappointment. A lot of, hey, you got booked in a tiny club and there's 5 people there. Their manager doesn't know what they're doing. So it is a little sad them trying to revive their careers and go on tour. But it ends on a lighter note. Ends on a lighter note,
because this is basically the same thing that happens.
But isn't that what happens? Like they never stop rocking. Like I know it's a thing, but they never stop.
Now they're in their 60s or whatever the hell, and they're still rocking it out.
Is that one of their hits? Never Stop Rocking.
No, it's somebody's, but that's just that's the way you live. You never stop rocking.
You never stop. It's true. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
But it looks it's sad now when you look at these guys. Like they're clearly over the hill. Like schlepping all their gear from country to country, going on these tours where they end up and there's 12 people there or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But they're big fans.
They end up at some place in Finland where there's a whole bunch of people and they're
it's
like,
always
this is
Finland.
the best show that I've ever seen in my life. That's my bad Finnish accent. But there's a great scene in the documentary where Thor is up there bending the iron bar. He gets the girls in the front row to check and make sure it's actually a real thing. And then he's doing it, and then he stops and spits 3 teeth out and asks if there's a dentist in the crowd.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like something went wrong? Or?
Oh, yeah. Like he busted his teeth out trying to do this act.
Oh, no. I have to watch this now.
That's so sad.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he goes through the, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is, look at how old I am. And he's his own manager. And he's always carrying around big battle axes. And he's got the Thor persona.
A lot of airport scenes.
Where where he has to, yeah. It's amusing, but not necessarily you have to watch it. Unless
it sounds really depressing.
Yeah, it sounds really
How
depressing.
long
really
is it?
depressing.
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half.
Okay, because if it's 2 hours long, no way.
Yeah.
But I'll watch.
If you would allow me to indulge in a Kevin Smith spin-off story, I lived in Nashville for a year, and I worked in an ice cream shop. I was a manager of an ice cream shop that was very similar to Old Stones type franchise. And one of my regular customers was Mark Slaughter from Slaughter. He would come in every Sunday with his daughter, and he was crazy nice, and he tipped very well, and he was very polite. But I remember thinking, this is really sad that this is what he does every week as he comes into this ice cream shop with his daughter. Not as sad as this movie in the way that this guy's life went. So Mark Slaughter at least is doing okay.
That doesn't seem sad.
There you go. So now I'm just Mark Slaughter's doing all right.
Yeah. Good dad.
How'd you know
Sunday
it was Mark
Father-Daughter Day?
Because
Nice.
his name on his card is last name is Slaughter on his credit card. Because I ran it through the credit card machine and then I have to give him the receipt for him to sign it. And I was like, Slaughter. Isn't Slaughter the band Slaughter? And I Googled it real quick while I was helping. I was like, oh my God, it is him.
Wow.
And he would come in every Sunday night. He was great. He tipped very well. He was a great customer.
He's doing all right.
He's
aging very well. He looks great. But I remember at the time being is this the highlight of his week? God, I hope not.
That's the highlight of his daughter's
What year was this?
This was 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So
but there's a weird
disconnect
disconnect between the fantasy persona that rock, especially this era of stadium rock or hair metal rock or whatever, projected, that everybody was going out and it's cocaine, sex, drugs, booze, and party all the time, probably in some hot or tropical climate, always Los Angeles.
Trash in hotels.
And and making strange demands on the staff. And then the disconnect is in reality, at some point the party ended and they all kind of went off to do these menial jobs working in Home Depot or whatever the hell, or it's like The Wrestler, that movie.
Yeah,
he ends up behind the counter, the deli counter.
The Wrestler was just kind of wrestling stood in for an aging rock star at that point.
Yeah.
All the same stuff. But
yeah. There's a lot of, what was it? Best worst movie, that documentary about
Troll 2.
The Troll 2.
Okay.
There's a lot of that in the same kind of vibe off of the I Am Thor documentary, probably the Anvil one as well, I assume.
Yeah.
It's because you were something at one point in time, and it's these people are in this arrested adolescence, where the glory days were when they were in their 20s, now that you're closing in on 70, it's
does it end on a happy note?
At the end of it, he's I'm never doing it again. This is it. This is the final tour. And then he goes on, up on stage and the people respond and he gets in the car at the end. And they're like, we didn't hear you say this was your final show. He's like, well, you never did.
Of course. So once you get on stage and feel it, that's it. Just keep chasing that.
Right. Yeah. Because that's the adultation of the crowds. Right. You got to keep on following that around.
Yeah.
But at some point in Jon-Mikl Thor's career, this is in the mid-'80s, the band Thor disbanded, broke up, or whatever, and he tried his hand at acting.
Now, you said this movie came near the end of his career?
Yeah, I think technically, I think Thor, the band, was done like in 85, 86.
Mm-hmm.
So this came out in 87.
Okay.
And this was on the tail end of, or in the middle of, like, another subgenre of films that I like to indulge myself in, the rock and roll horror movie. Longtime listeners might know my affinity for a little movie called Trick or Treat, which I'm still saying is the best of the rock and roll horror movies, based on this evidence. Right.
Well, I mean, we have.
I mean, this furthers that, I guess. Yeah.
We have Trick or Treat, and we have this movie. So that's basically
that's your spectrum. Yeah.
That's what we got here.
We haven't seen Black Roses, but don't tempt me.
Okay.
Okay.
Black Roses could show up, and what was the other one? Slaughterhouse. No, it was Rocktober Blood. Oh yeah, this is a thing. Rock and roll horror films. Most recently, they brought it back briefly in one movie from the Australians called
Deathgasm?
Deathgasm.
Which was censored by Walmart and renamed something else for the resale in Walmart. They didn't want to call it Deathgasm. They called it something else and had like a slipcase for it.
Yeah.
What's
you
it called?
seen this?
Yeah, fuck you, Walmart.
No, it was something like that. But that's an actual, like, a decent budget, modern day variation on the.
You must have been so excited when you saw that. You were like, ah!
Oh, yeah, when I heard they were making that movie and you hear the, like, what? It's a horror comedy, because you have to do, and this is the thing with this type of movie, you can't go all horror. I think with the rock and roll horror movie,
never go full
have to
retard.
go, like, rock and roll fantasy horror. There's a difference, which means that you're going to have little demon imps. And,
right. Well, fantasy's always been a part of like that era of rock and roll, hasn't it? Like that's if you've ever watched any music video from that era, there's always something going on. Again, these were the guys who played Dungeons and Dragons and just that whole fantasy realm.
Yeah,
always made its way into
the videos and lights from some kind of supernatural thing. Ozzy Osbourne turns into a werewolf.
There's a dragon somewhere.
Yeah,
right. Every Dio cover,
Demons. Every Dio
they all
cover.
had Frank Frazetta do all their art too.
Yeah, or some kind of chrome, like modern day chrome bicycles and big bats. And
there's a castle, bats, always bats.
Oh yeah,
gargoyles and whatnot.
Yeah, so it seems like it's two flavors that go great together: rock and roll or heavy metal and horror, right? Mm-hmm. So out of that explosive combination, you get a movie called Rock and Roll Nightmare. Okay, so it wasn't originally called Rock and Roll Nightmare, as we established. It was originally titled
The
Edge of Hell.
I keep wanting to say Edge of Evil. God damn it! Let me get it out.
And there is a theme song at the end.
Thank God.
But they retitled it Rock and Roll Nightmare, I think, to because obviously I had Jon-Mikl Thor in it, and I figure we can capitalize on his
rock and
fan
rollness.
base.
Yes.
So this movie.
Oh, this movie.
We're going to try and describe this to you, listener, but it's going to maybe take a couple of tries or something because we're not entirely sure what we've seen.
I saw a lot of house.
a lot of van
shots, some nice van glamour shots.
The intro to this movie is I wonder how long this movie would have been if like an actual editor had gotten a hold of it and just edited it down to the needed parts of this.
I'm going with 30 minutes.
Right.
Something. You need a little van at the beginning, a little road trip leading up to where they're going. Maybe show somebody else in the van because all they do in the lead up to this is show Jon-Mikl Thor driving.
And maybe fist pumping.
Fist pumping at some point. Rock and roll's the best. You got to do this as a band.
Yeah.
And they just show him. And so we're just I'm just thinking like he's just driving somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing, like the trademark of a bad movie, like the first sign you're in for trouble is it's under 90 minutes, right? It's the first sign that, oh shit, this is probably not going to be great.
And
this comes in at 83. You take out the credits and the van shots, it's probably down to what, 75? So it's a little bit longer than an episode of Game of Thrones at this point?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And then you take out the house facade picture.
Yeah. Every establishing shot. Just take it out.
Yeah.
And so what are we left with
So
then
many
at
clouds.
that point?
Trees.
Yeah.
There's lots of trees.
All right.
Some puppet shots.
But okay, so going for that, there is a prologue to this movie, I believe, before the title, which sets up with absolute clarity.
More interesting than the rest of the movie.
It was.
Yeah,
That was it might have been
I totally forgot that was in this movie. Actually,
I did too.
We were on board with this part, I think.
There are great
were.
parts, but legitimately the best part of the movie was this beginning, this cold open.
Which takes place in this farmhouse at an undisclosed period in time. We don't know. We assume, based on later in the movie,
10 years prior.
Okay, so it's 10 years ago, where a farmer is
Shaving.
He's shaving. His wife is making dinner, and the kid
Breakfast.
breakfast. And the kid, what was the kid doing? Just playing around up in the.
I think so.
Wasting time.
Did we see the kid much until he was at the stairs?
He was looking through the bars of the railing of the upstairs. I think, was he?
Yeah, because he was just like messing around in his bed, and she's like, "Breakfast." He's like, "Don't scramble the eggs without me." And just yeah. That's what we saw at the kid.
And then Mom suddenly hears a noise, and she goes to investigate.
She opens the fridge.
She just opens the fridge.
All she does is open
she's
the
not
fridge.
investigating.
Oh, that's right, because there's a
just
light
opens
in the fridge. That's how you know the
red light,
supernatural is
There's
happening.
always a light in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then when Dad comes down to
'Cause
find
she's
her,
screaming.
Carol, where are you? Maybe she's in the oven. It's a pretty astute.
Oh my God, Carol!
Yeah. He
the
looks
oven
around for a second
the
and
oven
then
is
looks at the
shaking.
oven.
The
Yeah.
The
oven
oven
is
is
shaking.
just a little shaky.
Clearly, Carol's in the oven. The oven
Clearly.
is shaking.
Yeah.
Opens it up and there's a demon inside.
Yeah.
Was that his wife? Was that
No,
Carol?
because it had fangs. It had like vampire fangs. So
right,
I can't assume that's his wife. I assume it's a demon.
Yeah.
I
So it's
assume-
like a kind of a meatloaf demon. I mean, it kind of looks like
Like meatloaf, like
goes in
Bat
one
Out of
way.
Hell meatloaf, or like follow the theme, or like
a
eating
baked,
meatloaf.
baked meatloaf. Yeah.
That one, I agree with that.
And it's about as articulated as a meatloaf. Just kind of,
Basically
they
just-
slide it out.
Yeah.
And go,
So it's got that one good
With an
claw
eye.
that it can use.
Yeah. This, to an astute moviegoer, is the moment that you realize that you are in for a very long 84 minutes.
Yeah.
Based on the, Okay, so cut to 10 years later.
And then we cut to the
A
first
van.
shot of the van,
And the van.
and then we
Oh, yeah.
cut to
The
10
van.
more years later
Yeah.
until they get to the house.
Yeah.
Like we
10
said, a lot
years
of van
van.
shots, a lot
10
of road
years of van.
shots.
Well, I became I thought at the beginning, because, obviously, you have a rock star in your movie, so you get some of his music, and it's like, okay, we're going to stick on this, van footage so we can play an entire track or something of his. This happens a couple of other times in the movie where we're just going to hang on these scenes so we can play a music track.
This is about the music. This is not about a movie.
But he turns his own music off and turns it over to the score that goes.
Did he turn it over to the?
I think so, or it was some kind of whatever.
The public domain version, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir doing,
Yeah.
public domain version, obviously, because
Yeah,
they
it was
would
very
never pay for this.
I'm
But
just going to do that randomly throughout the podcast. You're not going to know what's coming.
I mean, that would be on par with the score for the movie.
Yeah.
Basically,
It doesn't
it
sync
does.
up with anything.
No,
ever.
it comes in randomly. Like they're having nice music, quote unquote, and then it'll just be
You're
interrupted
talking
with
about the rock.
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah. Well, there was also this weird, the whole way through the movie, they do this really bad mixing where they'll have your source music, right? And the rock songs playing.
Yeah.
And then they bring the score in at about the same level, and you can't tell which one you're supposed to be listening to.
right. But they do that with the dialogue as well, because they amp up the music where it's like same as the dialogue. You're just like, what am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
Listening
Is this
to here.
important dialogue, or
I can't-
because all I hear is bass?
I'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be a bad,
Bad.
version of the soundtrack. Who knows?
Maybe.
Synapse Films put this out on DVD in 2006.
Did they do
in a
anything
special
good, or they just
edition.
acquired it and got rid of it?
Cleaned up the picture.
Did they?
Yeah.
They could have cleaned up the audio, although that's probably harder.
But we watched it on Amazon, so who knows? Maybe
True.
their compression or something fucked it up.
I'm gonna blame the filmmakers and not.
Yeah.
Someone just went in and removed the cigarette burns and called it, cleaned
Yeah,
it up.
just
like,
Yeah,
it's
that was
good.
it. Yeah, done.
Restored
Yeah,
edition
pretty much.
of Rock and Roll
It
Nightmare.
was a special edition of Rock and Roll
Of Edge of
Nightmare.
Evil
Why
or
don't I
whatever
own
No
this
one's gonna
movie?
fucking watch this anyways.
no.
Yeah.
That was like, we'll throw it in free. You can.
Well, except for
whatever
riff
the deal.
tracks, I guess got a hold of it.
Did
and it was
they?
like a riff track. Oh yeah, because Rock and Roll Nightmare as a bad movie.
God damn it! Have they not done something?
Oh, they have. Yeah, you can download the soundtrack to play along with it. I think is that how riff tracks works now? It's like They used
I've
to
never
do Mystery
riff tracked. Do
Science
they just
Theater.
download it and listen to it?
I think so. You
have no
sync
idea.
it up and play it along with the. Yeah, I think this goes along with The Room or Plan 9 or Troll 2 is kind of one of those so bad it's hilarious movies. We also forgot during the opening credits.
This is what I was going to mention.
Showing the ineptitude of
that
the
you
filmmakers.
mentioned. Tommy Wiseau. You mentioned The Room.
Yeah. It's very Wysoian.
It very is. We even adopted our own accents for this man, for Jon-Mikl Thor, even though he's American, apparently. But we all slipped into our Tommy Wiseau impressions because he's the writer of this movie and a producer. Yeah. And I'm surprised he didn't direct it.
Well, we don't know for sure. I haven't fact-checked it, but it's credited to somebody else. Well, no.
But his wife's in it. Yeah. John Fasano or something like that.
Yeah, I had a very similar reaction to the opening credits of this movie as I do to many M. Night Shyamalan movies, where there's a joke I love from one of my other favorite podcasts, How Did This Get Made, about how M. Night Shyamalan should just change his name to Boo Fuck You, because when you first see his name as director M. Night Shyamalan, you're like, boo, but then when you see writer, written and produced by, you're like, fuck you. That was the same reaction to this movie. Written, produced, you're like, boo, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I think we were all very happy. There was an audible reaction to the written by Jon-Mikl Thor of this movie. Oh my God.
And the fact that the opening credits are set while over footage of the point of view of some little demon monster
trip,
like running around in the house.
Oh, right, the cat. About this too. The cat,
the quote unquote cat, whatever the hell it is.
The proto GoPro footage.
Yeah. But it really was. So wait, what happened? All right, there's the demon in the oven, and then it goes to just a low camera angle of something running around this house for 5 minutes while they do the opening credits.
It's like a primitive GoPro was put on a cat.
Mm-hmm. Just running around. I mean, they do jump through some hoops, almost literally, in these opening shots, but it's
through some windows too.
There's some windows and everything, but I mean, I get this little thing's running around. It's something else.
Too bad that's not relevant to anything else in the rest of the movie.
Right, because we're still going. We don't know what's actually happening here,
but we know what we're gonna get because, like I said, we had an audible reaction to the written by Jon-Mikl Thor, and when you see something like that, I think everyone knows what that entails is going to come next at this point. I think we've all seen enough stuff where somebody who's trying to revive their career gets into a passion project and they're involved in every... This had to be a passion project.
Passion projects are bad. That's the worst thing you can hear in front of a movie.
This was his,
Well, he was in three films
what I'm
about the same
After
time.
Or before?
No, around this time.
Okay.
This may have been the last of the three.
But were they all as centric to him as this movie was? Because this is his thing.
Good question.
This stars him. He wrote it. He felt something for this material.
This is his nightmare.
This is what he wanted to get across to people. A, rock and roll. B, Jesus of some sort, it feels like. Or at least Satan.
Yeah.
That you will fight the evils with rock and roll.
I was wondering what your B was going to be, because I didn't have one.
I barely got to that.
Right. A and B.
A and B.
Whenever anyone creates film in a vacuum, it's never a good thing. I think Rob Zombie's a great example of that. M. Night Shyamalan's a great example. Don't just creating in a vacuum without any outside criticism is a terrible situation. Yeah. And usually when you're a writer, director, producer, you're not getting much outside criticism. Right. So when you see those three things with the same name, that's why everyone's like, boo, fuck you, because this is going to be your pure passion project is a dangerous thing to put in front of a movie.
Yes.
It can either be real great. Hudson Hawk, exactly.
Oh, God.
You don't like Kit Kat and Snickers and all the fucking candy bar name people.
There's just nobody there to say no.
Exactly.
No, right. That's the thing. You need someone to say no at some point.
Why are these cat burglars singing while they're breaking into this place? Yeah, exactly.
Because
you need someone to say why.
But the only people who say why are usually the money people.
Yeah.
Right?
Studio.
It's like somebody's holding the check and say, no, you're going to do this, or why are we doing this, John? But the budget for this was apparently $100,000. They shot it in a week, and it absolutely shows.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
surprised it took a week.
Well, so the van finally gets to where it's going. This farmhouse, the scene of the the whatever I was going to say the slaughter of the beginning, but and this cadre of band members and assorted hangers-on, sort of plus ones, get out. These are people that you cannot imagine. At least I couldn't imagine them being in a rock and roll band together, at any point in human history. Except for Thor's got, he looks like a rock star.
Right. Everyone else looks like an actor. He looks like he's in a band.
They definitely brought their own wardrobe, too. There was no wardrobe department. They brought their own clothes to this movie.
And very 1980s. If you're into 1980s fashion, when you're doing that movie about the 80s, look at this movie for a hint on how people dressed in 1987. So they're at this place. This is what you do, right? If you're a rock star, you find a secluded barn out in the middle of nowhere that's been converted into a recording studio to cut your next album.
Obviously.
It's just too bad that
everybody
there's
does.
some
what the Stones do, they all go out and just...
Oh, shit.
It is a thing.
I'm sorry, did the stone set something off for
No,
you?
this whole scenario just reminded me of an Alice Cooper movie. You remember when Alice Cooper was in movies? He was a star in a movie called Monster Dog.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I just have one question.
Okay.
Is it what I think it is?
A bad movie, like Monster Dog, bad movie, or werewolves? What do you think?
A monster dog.
It's a monster dog.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Like a hellhound is what I imagine. Yeah,
I think it's
all I want.
I think it's a werewolf. But he's like a rock star who goes to an Italian castle. I think his family is so they can record their new album. Brings the band with him. You get a couple of new Alice.
Was it
Cooper
Charles Band's
tracks.
Italian Castle? Because we know he has one.
No, this was the actual Italians making. I got to track that movie down. Now. I saw it a long
great!
time
We're going
ago.
to watch that soon, guys.
Because I remember that being horrible too. They had like German shepherds playing the werewolf, and they're wagging their.
Oh,
it was
no.
yeah.
Like Alien 3 when they did the test footage of like the greyhounds wearing the outfits and it didn't work out very well. Yeah. Because it was too cute. They were just like wiggling around a bunch. Yeah.
Jump out of my chest.
You just put blood on their fangs.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah. So so basically, the plot of this movie, right? I mean. It's a
You're being
slasher
generous.
movie.
You figured it out?
Yeah. I didn't figure it out. I mean,
No.
there's a series of situations.
Things happen.
Which are basically, they get together. At some point, they sleep. At some point, they eat together, maybe. Everybody's hot for each other, so they're all having sex in long, 10-minute long.
In one twin bed.
Sex scenes in twin bed in the piano bed.
Yeah.
And then they record music. Rinse and repeat. That's their daily routine.
Almost literally when we get to the shower scene.
Right.
Yeah.
How many new Thor tracks do we get? Oh, I'm sorry. The band is called Triton in the movie, and he's John Triton. Something?
Triton. Yeah, he's John Triton.
Yeah.
How many new live performances were there? Two,
There
three?
were 2 live performances and other songs.
We Live to
within the
Rock.
movie. And energy.
Energy.
How can we forget energy?
Oh, boy. So there's at least 2.
There's
Maybe
2 of those, and there's other music throughout.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Jon-Mikl Thor as a stage performer?
I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse live. But it's not. I mean, nothing special.
Yeah.
There's no, not much
he
of that
carries
performance.
himself like a rock star. I
He's-
suppose that's the thing.
yeah.
He's got the,
He's got the hair.
yeah.
The
Like what else? You can't really do much.
Got the hair and the coattails. What else do you want from him?
I feel like you take away those 2 things though, and there's not much.
No,
there.
there's nothing.
There's no stage charisma or
None.
anything.
0.
I mean, this.
He's no Sammy Kerr. I mean, like few people.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, all right. So anyway, how the whole supernatural shenanigans get underway
They
is
come out of nowhere, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Straight out of nowhere.
Straight out. Yeah, it really is because they're doing their first live performance.
And the guy loses his drumstick or something, or breaks or something.
He breaks his drumstick on the last beat of the song, and then the
manager,
Ducky,
which is not a huge problem, by the way. Not a huge problem.
no, right?
No.
It's like, oh man, did you break another drumstick?
Because at this point he's sort of Australian, sort of.
At
this point, yes.
He's British
Tom's
at
gonna
this
be
point.
upset with you. That guy was British.
He's British.
He was supposed to be British.
but
It was a really, really
It was
bad.
really
But he's
bad
not British.
then, yeah.
I thought at some point someone called him an Aussie.
I think he's British.
Either way, it was bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
One of the worst English accents possibly ever committed to film. Maybe not. Is that
It's-
a bold
it's-
statement?
Yeah. No, it's not.
not
It's
at all.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
It's very close.
So what happened though?
The manager
The
goes
stage
off
manager,
to find
he said,
drumsticks.
he said he's got a box of drumsticks in the back. So he goes to the back of the barn. And he does not encounter the box of drumsticks, but one of the band members' girlfriends.
Yeah.
Okay, you're forgetting a scene that totally confused the shit out of me.
Oh,
the little rubber monster showed up
I forgot about
my
that.
God.
with the one eye.
He like,
Now, there's nothing before in this movie to tell us that this is going to happen.
Right.
no.
That we are going to get little one-eyed monsters
Right.
who look like, what's the Muppet? There's a Muppet
Which
that looks
one?
like this. It's a tiny little one. He's got crazy hair. He's got one eye.
Oh,
He's
the
always
shrimp? The shrimp guy?
Yeah.
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 I don't know if that's
Okay.
an accurate representation of what he looks like.
Well, obviously, I guessed it, so that was it.
But yeah,
That
whatever
was a
is.
great for a podcast. Great
Yeah, no problem. You
representation
guys all
there.
got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy. That's what they look
Yeah,
like.
that is
Later
what
on,
they
they
look
have
like.
hair and everything. But
That is
look
what they look like, yeah.
So he just kind of meeps into the guy's coffee mug that he's drinking.
Yeah.
A little drop of whatever
He
drool.
meeps. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but this is what I don't understand.
But nothing happens to him.
Because this is like, I mean, again,
nothing.
we're trying to make sense out of something that. But the little monster horks into the coffee cup.
Yep. Yeah, he does.
Of the, we're assuming this is the recording engineer. The
His engineer's coffee mug.
He drinks it. He sniffs it first, then goes like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then chugs the thing.
I've had worse.
Right?
Yeah.
So then he goes down to the basement to find the stick,
the drumsticks,
and then encounters the demon-possessed woman, or the. I mean,
the demon has formed into the woman.
Okay, how do you know that?
Because she ends up running around looking for him later. Like, I don't think she left.
How do you know she wasn't possessed and the demon left her?
I don't know.
I think you're
guessing.
right, though. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
I think the little monster turned into...
I think so.
At this point, we didn't know, but...
No, because I
so
thought...
much happens off screen in this movie that we're supposed to imply. It's ridiculous.
So at this point, we are thinking, like, what's she doing down there? And then she comes on to the manager, strips, and they start making out. And then she begins to change into this... Toothy demon. Yes, the toothy demon.
Yeah, and takes a big chunk out of his neck.
Big round chunk out of his shoulder.
It was straight up like ground beef spam or something. Like it was,
I love, I mean, you know, the utilitarian, like do-it-yourself nature of this movie. In the credit, like in the opening credits, there's two, I'm going to use air quotes here, companies credited with coming up with the special effects. In the end, it's like there's a bunch of guys listed for every single, you know, special effects gag in the movie. It's like there's this guy did this one, this guy did this one. So these are no Tom Savini's. We're saying I've seen chunks getting bitten out of people's, you know, necks that looked a lot more convincing than this. But yeah, that was pretty. It was like raw hamburger or something. He just kind of pulled out of there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But a couple scenes later, this same dude is seen wandering around the house.
What?
Which is like the chick is seen with the rest of the group looking for him.
She's part of the search party at that point, looking for him and everything. And, you know, we're very confused at this point. What happens next?
I don't know.
I don't know.
At some point, I remember...
There's sex that night.
Yeah.
Like,
in a
that's
twin
when we
bed,
go,
probably.
Right. I think this is the twin bed sex when that comes in.
Yeah. But I think the first night sex scenes are basically like, hey, we should have sex, and then it cuts. And then you go off to like another person, hey, we should have sex. Oh, I can't, baby. I got to work on that love song. Cut.
Or another guy is tired / gay.
Right. Yeah, that's right. He can't. I'll listen to you. But it was like he contradicted himself and whatever he said. She comes in, she's like, hey, I can't sleep. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't think I'd be very good company tonight. Right. She's like, oh, okay, I'll leave. And he's like, no, you don't have to leave, though. Like,
you can talk and I'll listen.
And then he falls asleep on
it.
And it's got the greatest cut back to, like, of this movie. I love it when they cut back to her and she's like, and that's when I realized that my life was going to be music. Like, that's great because it says so much about the conversation that came before it that you realize, you know why he's. That's a good joke. Despite everything else in this movie, that's a good joke. If it was intentional, it feels like it was, but that's a good joke.
That was a solid.
I'll give him that.
Well, the only plot advancement that I think happens that first night,
the British guy.
I thought the van disappeared.
Oh, right.
Because they're all like, where'd so-and-so go? Where'd Phil
Phil's
go?
his name, right? Yeah.
Like, he took the van. He must have taken it because the van is gone.
Yeah, he must have gone to town to get more drumsticks.
Yeah, so now we're going to have to wait
is this
until
before or after
morning.
the groupies show up?
They show up
this
later.
Is before.
Yeah, because then...
Jesus.
Right. Randomly.
Yep.
This movie felt so long. Holy shit. For like an 84-minute movie, so long.
But it also speaks to like the, you know, like as the writer, Jon-Mikl Thor, right? Like all he's got to like rock is so awesome that, you know, we got to go and come up with this 10 minutes of music and we're going to record it. And in between, like the only thing that anybody wants to do in his orbit is have sex, right? So this is the big F shack. Basically, we're going to be here while, you know, we come up with this music. And groupies will show up from the town, you know, these townies show up and be like, oh, the band Triton is here, and we got to sneak in there and get with them, I assume. That's what they were after, even though...
Well, they weren't there for autographs. Not at 2 in the morning.
These women, like, show up. There's 4 girls show up, force their way into the house, or invited, and I think by the now demon-possessed...
Phil.
Who then leads them away to the basement.
And that's it.
And that's it. Never hear anything about him again.
Never to be heard from again. We know something bad happened because his hand turned evil. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all we know. His hand turned evil.
What's an evil hand look like?
Something like the
Scaly.
creature from the
Yeah.
Black Lagoon,
Yeah.
basically.
Green and bloated, kind of smooth.
You ever seen those
But
hands you
wrinkly.
could buy in a Halloween shop?
Smooth but wrinkly.
Yeah.
Yes, slimy.
And slimy.
Yes,
Yeah.
like plastic.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to remember what happens next. They wake up
Yeah,
the next morning,
I
they're
don't
like,
know.
"Where's half the people gone?" Oh, they're probably just,
Well, we're missing like
gone to town.
there's the sex, there's the British guy getting possessed. Does he go to he goes to the bathroom?
Oh, the rock goddess shows up.
The rock goddess shows up.
Yeah.
Special appearance by Rusty McHammers or whatever his name was.
Hamilton?
Rusty Hamilton? Let's go with
Rusty.
that.
Which who had a
Rusty
special
McHammers, is
appearance
that what you
by
said?
credit, which means he has that worked into his contract, which means he.
Or her,
She,
hopefully.
yeah,
Well,
her.
she's right.
Yeah.
She's Rusty Hamilton, right? The
Yeah.
rock
I think
goddess.
so, yeah.
So she's somebody.
But to get a special appearance by credit requires a lot of negotiation in your contract because that it's
Again,
weird
I
nerd
get
stuff
what
I'm
movie
digging
we're
into
talking
here,
about.
but like that.
Oh, you actually know facts on this.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
like
please.
it does. Like no, to get a special appearance by credit, like you get paid for every like if it's a TV series, you get paid for every episode whether you're in it or not with the special appearance by credit. So to have that in front of your name takes a lot of negotiating and work. So that's why I'm like, this person has to be established or weirdly have a really good agent or something to have that worked
Yeah.
We're
into
going to
their
have
credit.
to look this up.
So
Who's
yeah.
the fuck is Rusty Hamilton?
Right, because we don't know who she is. She's there for 4 or 5 seconds.
Who is she in the movie?
She is the
She-
rock goddess.
Then what is a rock
She's-
goddess?
She is
The
in-
prodigious rock
She's a
goddess.
yeah. She is a formation of the demon.
Yeah.
The demon just shows up as this woman.
To come on to the British guy with the sunglasses.
And he, without question, oh yeah, baby.
He's like, oh yeah, this random weird chick I've never met is in this house.
Score.
I'll go for it.
Rusty Hamilton, according to the internet, is called a film actress who has starred in movies such as Only the Strong, Keep the Dogs. Oh, sorry, these are the Thor albums. She's in Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Oh,
She
maybe
And
that means
Zombie
nothing
Nightmare.
to this movie then.
and White Sands. I wonder if that's his wife.
Oh, it's possible. It's possible.
Oh. We'll say yes.
Yeah, we'll have to
Just go with it.
Go to our Facebook page.
Tell us if you know.
Facebook.com/.
Who the fuck this person
365
is.
Cinema or whatever your name is.
Are you a fan of Rusty Hamilton? Tell us why.
Is this why you think it's
Hilarious.
for the 5 seconds she's in this?
And special appearance by my real life wife.
Yeah,
He must have thought
could
it
you
was
imagine if Rob Zombie put that before all of his movies? How much we would
Fuck
fucking hate him.
that. I mean, I hate it enough already, but
Right.
fuck
Special appearance by
that.
Sherry Moon
Oh my
Zombie.
god. No.
Boo, fuck you all over
Yeah.
again.
Take
Wow.
your 31 and shove it.
Right.
The
Fucking
only other
movie.
thing I can think of is that she's in the band Thor, so a special appearance by another member of Thor. That was the
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Can you get yourself into that headspace of a 1980s rock god, Colin?
Yes, I can.
I knew you
Sean.
could.
You know how much time I've spent in that headspace? Okay.
I know.
So
You really you this is what you missed.
I missed
it,
my
didn't you?
calling.
You missed it. I knew it.
you should have seen me with Rock. No, okay. With Rock Band, the PlayStation game.
You
so-
mentioned Colin just with long flowing red hair, like
No,
rocking
And
out.
that
I really
like
can't.
glitter tux
Yeah.
jacket with no shirt underneath.
Imagine
and
like
some leather and
20
and all
years
that
ago, he looks the same. He's just got longer hair.
stuff.
That's how I imagine
had
Colin.
longer. I actually did that.
How
I think,
long
for
was
a-
your hair?
Not that long.
No, like
No.
what? Like shoulder length? Like how long?
It's
Like
probably
just-
shoulder
Yeah?
length. I don't know. There's somewhere. There's.
Did you
photos
have to
somewhere.
flip it back
That's
at some
why
points
my wife
from your
fell in
leather
love with me,
jacket?
she tells me. I had a leather jacket.
Yeah, I know you did.
I mean, it was the '80s. That's what you did.
I like this
I'm
game.
telling you,
Let's
this
guess Colin's life 20 years ago. This is a great game.
This was, that the hard rock heavy metal thing was a big part of my young adulthood.
Yeah.
So, what happens the next day in this thing? They
have another song rehearsal.
Well, British guy takes his girl, whoever she is, out into
He takes her.
out by the river.
Oh, down by the river. Oh, yeah. The next
Yeah.
day. Because
This
they'll.
is possessed British guy,
This is
right?
a
Yes.
possessed British guy, and he's now lost his accent.
Yes, he
It's
has.
gone.
But nobody notices.
Nobody
they also
notices.
cut from day to night with just haphazardly. With wild abandon, they just go
Yeah.
from day to night in this movie.
Just shots of the moon and the sun and the house.
The moon and the sun
We
and the
should
sky.
be glad they chose to shoot it day and night in this movie.
Well, this was the beginning of the sex day, right? Where like this is because I can't remember. I know she gets topless, and then
he
hand comes
has
out
that
of his,
alien moment. Yeah.
Yeah, a gigantic demon hand comes out of his.
When they
chest.
first showed that shot, I'm like, why is he bent over? Like,
I know.
Is something gonna go wrong here?
Is
Like,
he gonna vomit? Like,
but I'm just like, oh, he had to get in that position to have the prosthetics on him
Yes.
in order
Yeah.
for that giant hand to come out of his chest.
Really awkward. It looks like he's riding a motor. When we first see him, he's motorcycle riding position.
Yeah.
And then you pan down, and like his chest comes down, like right under his chin.
it's taking a very long time to show him unbutton his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know something's
Suspense, Holly. Ever heard of it?
coming. I've heard of it. I didn't feel it during
You
this
didn't
movie.
feel it? No? You got nothing?
Yeah.
Giant hand grabs her.
Yeah.
And that's all we get to see.
It was-
because
it was
I think it
reminiscent of,
massages
like-
her boob a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Grabs
Yeah,
her
he
boob.
grabs her boob with the weird.
Yeah.
And it was reminiscent to me of the Beetlejuice shrimp hand.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Little bit.
A little bit.
Was it Demons had the hand coming out through the
Yeah, it was
person's?
like a demon hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
which
why-
came out the year before that, so whatever.
Yeah.
Probably didn't say it. And then inside the house, everybody's getting lucky, I think, for at least 5 uncomfortable minutes of badly choreographed and acted and shot sex scenes.
Yeah.
Because we get
The one dude, the gay dude,
And the meth head looking girl.
and the meth
yeah.
head keyboardist.
Yeah.
They
And it
have
seemed
sex.
like a distinct age difference between
Well,
them.
it was
felt like
those, and then it was the shower scene.
Shower
Yeah.
scene. Maybe that just felt like 2.
because they cut away from it and then
possible.
they come back.
They do.
They're like,
Well, 'cause
oh,
it's-
Jesus
It's,
Christ.
the river scene starts as a sex scene. It just
Right,
doesn't go
right,
that
right.
way. So you do have 3 technically.
No.
Yeah, and that shower sex scene.
Oh god.
I'm like, there's a lot of
It's
inappropriate tongue in this shower sex scene.
It's
I
what,
don't appreciate
it's what
it.
we were all waiting for. It's the Thor shower scene.
It is. He's like, this is my time to shine.
Yeah.
I will have sex.
Would you
Yeah.
say it's the money shot of this movie?
I think
mean-
so.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yes.
It's
Gross as
just
that feels,
shots.
It's gross. The tongue acting is horrible.
It's just shots of like them pressing their boobs together over and over and
Yes.
over again.
Yes.
That's all it is. For like
Just-
10 minutes.
And tongue, just little.
Yeah, it was
Not. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
It's not.
And that's followed up by, I think at this point, they go
Somebody
after.
else die.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, because they had to get rid of the backup.
Wow! What you just heard was Colin being done with this movie. That is what you heard. Oh
Well,
my
these
God!
scenes, it's like a slasher movie where we arbitrarily
Done.
pick these people out. And the next thing that we really want to hear about, right,
wow.
is that everybody's dead except
I mean,
for Thor.
we can
and
just
his
skip to
wife.
everybody's dead.
Yeah,
That Thor and his wife.
we don't
yes.
have to catalog
Yeah,
how
let's
the
just-
little demon things get them or whatever the hell.
I
Or
think,
if they
do we see more little demon things?
Yeah, there's one that crawls across the little lizard-looking one that crawls. I
Yeah.
say crawl, but it's actually like on the end of a stick.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah. It's a stick
wobbles
bug.
it out in
But,
front of the
that's
camera.
but that's what we're getting to. We need to bypass all. We don't know how the people died. They died.
They die. They all
What we
die.
get, what we
Doesn't
get to is Thor working on the love song in the barn by himself, and his wife comes in. That's where we need
But
to
do
get.
we get little monsters show up first?
while he's like writing his song.
Yeah.
And
But
because
this,
they shoot
yeah.
at him, and he bends over to pick up the pen, and it
Yeah.
overshoots.
Literally
Wah, wah,
just
wah.
someone throwing an object over the bar.
it is, but it's so because we saw one little one-eyed monster earlier in the movie, and that's fine, and the demon out of the oven in the beginning. But I was not expecting little monsters in this movie.
No.
And little
No.
different looking ones throughout. Like you get a bunch of the little one-eyed dudes,
Oh.
but then you get like a little praying mantis dude. It looks like a dinosaur.
We didn't even talk about the little boy.
Yeah, it's a little
fuck
boy.
that kid.
Fuck
Fuck
that
that
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
He turns into a little dog face
Yeah.
boy.
He's pointless, and I
Okay.
don't want to talk about him anymore.
All right.
Yeah, just he serves no point.
It's true.
horrible. That's how the other people die, though. You're right.
Yeah.
They get eaten by the little dog.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know where they went. There was a point to that.
You know, the attitude we have talking about this movie is I feel like the attitude they had about making it, fuck that kid. Who gives a shit what happened to him? Who cares? Let's move
dog
on to the next
boy.
shot.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't expect that the little whatever rubber monsters were going to be like the comedic relief of this movie. Like
They do.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
one of them puts its hand up on the countertop where Thor is writing. He takes his
can of
Coke,
Coca-Cola Classic.
which they always
Coca-Cola
Crush it.
Classic.
They make
Product placement.
yeah,
Or
they always-
attempted product placement, because I doubt they got money for this.
No, they were hoping to get sued
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
publicity at some
Well,
point.
it's like famously Grease got got sued because there's a scene in Greece where they're in the diner and there's like a big, like 10x8 billboard of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And they put it in there before they got the licensing to do it, and they just assumed Coca-Cola would be like, fuck yeah, Greece is going to be a huge success. Let it, we'll give you the money for it. And Coke said no. So if you watch Grease now, it's just fuzzy. It's just brushed out. It looks like, but it's really distracting because the two main actors sitting right in front of it. So right around their heads is this weird like halo effect.
Yeah.
So like I feel like this movie was like, well, fuck it, let's just do that. Let's just do what Grease did and just put it in here, and Coke will be like, sure, why not? It's already in there. Let's just pay for it.
But they make
It's so
every
pointed.
effort they can to turn the label of whatever they're drinking directly toward the camera. Coca-Cola Classic.
It's classic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he sets it down on the little demon thing's hand, and it's sitting there going, you know.
I think he bites his like.
He does. He bites his finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this leads to, so the wife reveals herself to not be his wife at all. In a strange twist of, so she basically turns into.
She saw the little boy in the bathroom again. Or she saw the cameraman in the bathroom, and it's supposed to be the little boy.
Sure.
Yeah, but we're past.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But then the next thing we see her, she walks into the barn, and she's like...
See? That's why I wanted to talk about the little boy, but no.
I mean, fuck that kid.
So she morphs into this giant, I don't know, 7 foot tall, plastic, bug-looking creature thing, which somehow...
It's almost indescribable.
And it basically says, like, so...
It's an alien devil.
So the idea that we have at this point, like up to right now, and revealed about this point in the movie, is that the barn recording studio sits on some kind of doorway to hell.
The edge of hell, if you will.
The edge of...
all right.
Sits on the edge of hell, and the devil and his minions have been claiming all these people and turning them into little puppet people, or little monsters.
That's what we gathered.
Right.
I think one of them had a wife beater on. I'm pretty sure.
And one of them smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, they showed in bright light, one of them had a wife beater on.
I did not catch that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
This is...
Smoking, yes.
Yeah. So this is supposedly, I think, all of the band members converted into little creatures.
Yes.
Possibly. I don't remember any of the band members smoke.
He's making them his minions.
Yeah. And then, surprise reversal. It turns out that Thor is the archangel somebody.
I thought you'd be like, Saruman.
Yeah. He's like, guess what, devil? Or do you like to be known as
And he lists
Beelzebub?
every name.
Asmodeus?
Old,
Belial?
old Scratch.
Old Scratch?
Yeah, that was the best one.
Yeah. That I have secretly, those were just shadows that I created. I've been here alone the entire time that we've been here. So apparently he fucked himself in the shower. I don't know what happened.
I mean...
That's my question. That was my question.
So
Who
this
was
is
in the
why
shower?
he wasn't interested in his wife, because he's like, no, I got to work on that love song, baby, because she's not really there. And then she takes her top off, and he's like, okay, you talked me into it. And now I'll have sex with
But
the
isn't she
shadow
really
that I
there?
created.
Because she turns into the old Scratch.
Because he's really there. Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah.
But she's really there because, right?
I gathered that he created these beings, but they're not. I think he mentioned that they don't have souls, so they can't be taken or anything. So he created them. They're just not real people. There's something. I don't know.
By the
That's
way,
what I got.
It was at this point in the movie where I moved to the edge of my seat.
He did.
And did not back up for the rest of it because
He
I could not
he was in awe.
believe.
Yeah.
I was in awe. I could not believe what was happening because nothing previous to this led us to believe that this is what was going to be the end of this movie. I had no idea.
Except I've seen photos from the end of this movie, because this is where it gets ridiculous as all. Like, you thought it was crazy before.
It did, however, clear up the fact that he was driving alone in the van at the beginning, and that's why they only showed him.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that's true. Wow,
Bravo.
look at you putting shit together.
Thank you.
Bam, that was...
Yeah, they didn't think of that.
No,
I like that you thought of it.
They did.
But
It
they
was a
did not
happy
think of it.
coincidence for them. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
So Thor, like, the wind starts blowing in
But
his
he
hair.
changes.
And he changes his costume into... Well,
he
it's
changes
costume.
into what we've been wanting this entire fucking movie. That's what he changes into.
A studded
leather-studded...
Codpiece.
Yes.
codpiece.
Yeah. And that's it. Oh, and
A
some
cape.
bracers.
And
Yeah,
a
some-
cape. It was
Did he have a cape?
He had a cape
Yeah.
because it covered
He
his.
did have a cape, didn't he?
It covered his clearly a thong. It covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Thor the Rock God.
This is the rock god.
Yes.
Yeah.
He comes with wind.
He
Yes.
comes with
An
wind.
oscillating fan.
And you can take that any way you want because I'm sure they're both true.
Yeah.
The oscillating.
We say that this is funny because his hair blows a little bit, then it stops, and then it blows a little bit more.
There's almost musical cues for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if there was like a guitar riff, like now when his hair.
It would have been better. If it's called Rock and Roll Nightmare, it would have been better.
Yeah, if it would have been punctuated, it would have made sense. But
Yes.
it wasn't at all. It was totally accidental. That's what made it noticeable.
just a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
We should rescore that. We probably could.
We could.
Yeah.
I
We
don't want to put the
could-
time into this movie,
No.
though.
But this
No,
is
it's
the
not worth
time
it.
that the devil starts throwing his like squid throwing stars at Thor. This has to. This
This is
to
what
be,
had me in awe.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes.
you have to see this to believe it. I
He's
think.
legit catching them like football style. Like
Holding them to his chest.
yeah.
And then like, oh no, it's attacking
Yeah.
me.
Some great, like how we were talking about with Terror Tractile, like
Yeah.
you see the great, like someone acting against a puppet and moving it
Right.
as the
It's a show
motion.
movement.
Terror Tract looked like an Oscar award winning movie
Yeah.
compared to this.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And this was in slow motion,
Yeah.
too. Like, that's the
Yeah.
best part of this.
Because
It's
he
like,
legit catches it like. Yeah, like a fucking frisbee.
That's it. So he's dodging them and everything.
He
And
has
then
to
he
catch it and then put it in place too.
Yeah,
Like, catches it
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
puts
That's
it
the
on
thing.
his
He gets
chest.
he attaches two to his nipples at one point. It's like, ah!
And then he breaks one or whatever, rips
He
the thing
squeezes
apart.
it, yeah, and then he's
It's
pulling
got
it
guts
apart.
in it. You can pull.
Ah.
Somebody
Do you-
spent a lot of time on that.
I
little
know.
prop.
Do you think they just like reassured him on set, being like, "We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it, man." Like, do you think they were like, "Just do your best"? We'll
Yeah,
fix
and he
it
was
in
like,
post."
what is post?
Yeah. It'll look
Yeah.
better
What are we
on
doing
the
post?
screen once we edit it together.
I will almost guarantee there was one throwing star that they had to just keep redoing every single time.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that was only one. It's like, all right.
He was holding
It's the
two
last
though.
one.
I
effects.
can't. This is a moment
kind of
where you I mean, seriously. I mean, you can't believe this
You can't.
unless you
I
see
could
it.
not believe it.
That this kills people's careers. This type of stuff. I mean, it is so blatantly like inept in all sense of the word.
Yeah.
That he's just it's
For as
glorious
long as
in a bad movie
Oh,
way,
yeah.
but sad in some other ways. That like, wow, you actually thought you were making a movie.
that's
or
what it is.
something. Who the fuck? Yeah,
It's sad in the way and how serious it was made at the time.
Mm-hmm.
How much people dedicated to this because they thought this is going to be it.
yeah.
It goes back to like what we were saying about Tommy Wiseau. So when The Room came out, like he said it was a hard drama, and now retroactively he said it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's the same type of thing. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly how this movie was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This yeah.
And then, I mean, we top that off with the the music video, whatever, battle royale
The
between
30-minute fight.
Thor and the giant
Devil
rubber
alien.
devil puppet set to a track music called
Up to the
Fucking
challenge.
cares.
Up to
Up to the
Yes. Yes.
where we have to play the entire song.
It's almost as good as There's No Easy Way Out in fucking
Yeah,
Rocky.
right.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
It's
it's on
that
that level.
Don't knock that song.
I like. Hey,
I
I'm not
fucking
knocking it.
love that
I
song.
like.
We're bringing this one up.
Easy way out.
Rise to the Challenge or whatever in Thor is just
I
as
love
good.
Rocky IV.
And we call it a fight, but it's. I mean, they hold each other's wrists for 10 minutes.
They
Like,
do.
That's all it is. They're just
They
like,
just circle.
"Ugh."
I just circle.
And the camera gets into weird
Yeah,
angles,
really
floating
close
between
shots, yeah.
them. And,
Right, but that's it. It is just them like holding each other in circles. But those camera angles, man, like you get Alien, you get Muscles, you get the best faces from Thor. It's oh,
He
per-
metal
he's got-
screams at the devil at some
He's
point.
got like the pursed like pucker like on his lips.
he does.
Oh,
He
it's
was doing like the
fantastic.
duck face. It was
He
the
was.
most fucking
Yeah.
like what is happening?
It was
here?
ridiculous.
Oh my god.
And then, as
Five.
Sean rightfully put, we got the Inspector Gadget ending
Why did I call it Inspector Gadget?
because nothing happens, and he says, "You win this
oh
time."
yeah, next time, next time, Gadget. Next time. It really was. There
Yeah.
was like it was a little wrestling bit. It was like you win. And
Yeah.
then he's like, whoosh. The Roman candle pops up, and he's just gone.
It's literally a Roman candle, like
It's-
a foot in
right,
front of the
right.
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is insanity.
You win
And that's
this
it.
round.
After all that. And then he's walking around like, I have avenged you.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't know who he's talking to.
No.
Or
Cemetery,
about.
you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Was it the family that died in the house?
Oh, shit.
Oh!
So, well,
See,
he goes to-
Holly comes up with things.
She always puts shit together.
Wait, how do you... How?
But I can't tell if he was
why I'm
like,
here.
because there were a set of graves, or he stood in front of one grave and he's like, it's taken this long, but I've avenged you. Could have been his wife. Could have been his band members.
Could have been.
Could have been the family from the house.
Could have
You
been.
no fucking idea. It's one of those scenes. His mouth is moving.
Yeah.
But the dialogue.
It could have been the groupies.
It could have
could have
been.
been.
It could
Yeah.
have been.
We don't know.
But we don't know.
No.
And he didn't avenge anybody.
No.
The devil just decided to leave.
Plus, he's an angel, so who's he? Like, that would mean he had personal connection with these people, and then they died, and then he avenged them.
Is he dead?
I don't know, Sean. I don't know. This
either,
movie made
Colin.
no fucking sense at all. And then, to cap it off,
And then it
there's
makes
an ending
less
scene,
sense.
which starts at a random suburban house and does a pullback
Yeah.
for, like, the block, really
Yeah.
slow camera, and you're like, whose house is this? What's happening? What's happening in this movie?
We don't
We'll
know.
never know.
No, reality collapsed tonight. I think that's basically, yeah.
That's it.
That's rock and roll. Well, then there's a couple of sing out songs
Yeah.
as
Oh,
we
sure.
discover that,
Sure. We had a couple credit songs, but
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you, listener, thank you for sticking around this long. We're each going to go around the room and give you our final reviews, which you're going to want to stay tuned for, because you never know how these things shape out. It turns out that some of us might like this movie. Some of us might hate this movie. How's it all going to shake out? You're going to find out on the other side of our mailbag. But first of all, as we want to do, thank you for writing in. We want to answer some mail, so we need to get our mailman in here. Igor, where are you, sir?
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
And thank you, Igor.
thanks, Igor. I like your hat. Is that pink? That's a nice hat. It looks good.
I made him not wear his codpiece.
Oh, did you?
You're welcome.
Oh, good.
You're welcome.
Thank
Does he
you.
get an oscillating fan too, or
Oh,
no?
he's got one back there.
Okay.
He's got like 2 hairs, though. It doesn't really work for him.
Oh, he rocks
He
it.
can pull it off.
But
Like
I
a
guess
rooster
right.
flying around the top of his head.
Sorry.
It's like a white snake video back there. You don't know.
Oh, no.
All right, well, Igor brings us the mail, and you can write to us on Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show. You can also write to us on Twitter
At Sat Freak Show.
or by email.
SaturdayNightFreakShow@yahoo.com.
And please write in, because otherwise we don't know who you are, and we want you to become part of the Freak Show
We don't know who you
family.
are, and we'll never know.
That's right. You're
Join-
liking our Facebook pages, and you're liking our
Join the
podcast.
family.
Why not, reach out?
Do we have
That's
to
all.
make Holly call someone else out for them to write
I've
it?
done it before, damn it.
And it's worked. So we will find you.
Hey, Chris.
All right, so for Rock and Roll Nightmare, 365 Feature writes
Oh
in. And he says, you are in for the best 80 minutes of your lives.
No.
Or the
Liar.
worst.
no!
He says he's not sure. He's covering himself there.
They always do. They're
Yeah.
just like, they never want to dedicate themselves
Yeah.
to what they think about these movies.
Fall on your sword.
Yeah,
Come
they
on,
recommend
man.
them and then they walk off into the night. They're just like, you deal with it.
Dom Cree writes in, says, the fact that I thought this movie was Hard Rock Zombies is not a good sign. Ha! Once again, why is such a great premise, heavy metal horror or the heavy metal horror movie so poorly executed time and time again? I challenge Colin to right this wrong. Well, Dom,
It's a challenge.
yeah, if you
Thank
give
you,
me a
Dom.
premise, I promise I'll do something with it. Well, no, that's not entirely
That's
true.
not true. That's not true at all.
I am looking for a
Like,
premise.
that is a straight up lie. Do you have any ideas
there'll
flying
be
through
false
the space
starts, there'll be
I know,
reversals.
I
Yeah.
actually wrote a feature-length screenplay for a heavy metal horror movie, but it's more like a horror thing than horror
rock.
fantasy, and I think that's kind of where you need to go. It needs to be fun, not
so. Yeah.
kind of dour and all that other stuff. So, about Terror Tract. Bobette
Oh.
Georgie writes in and says,
Bobette.
this movie was really good. Shame it never received more attention. I had never even heard of it before our show that we did. So there you go. That's what we do.
All right,
great.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
Agreed.
fucking
Neither
awesome.
did we.
Awesome.
It was good.
We bring dead movies back to life. And about our Rawhead Rex
Oh, no.
episode,
Oh.
Chris Huddleston
Hey,
writes in and says, did
devil.
anyone read the comic? He says, I have read Next Testament, which is a great recent comic by Clive Barker. I believe it's a new original story he wrote just for comic form, and that's highly recommended. Anybody read the Rawhead Rex comic?
I read excerpts, but I didn't read the whole thing.
No.
Yeah, we just did some research for the show to find out a little bit about it.
And after watching the movie, I would not go.
No, I didn't have any desire.
And David Eve, I might be pronouncing it wrong. I believe he's French, so it might says Rawhead Rex is even better than Satanico Pandemonium, a movie that I've actually seen. It's one of those like nunsploitation movies. I don't remember if somebody pisses on a vicar in that movie, but that might be where the comparison comes from. So yeah. So that brings us to our final thoughts, and that's going to start tonight with Sean.
Oh, shit.
Tables have turned.
I know, I'm first. I'm never first. All right. Rock and Roll Nightmare.
What'd you think of it?
The Edge of Evil. Just kidding. Edge of Hell.
You'll get it.
It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck anyways?
I mean, I really can't get across enough how, I have to say, mind-blowing that last 20 minutes was, because I was not expecting what we got from this movie. I also was expecting more rock and roll. Like, we got like 2 live performances in this, but I almost thought we were going to get like singing during the movie. I almost thought you were bringing us into that. A little more repo than, more rock
like
opera.
Musical?
I almost thought more rock opera is what we were getting into. I was not expecting
And even
this.
like the transitional music, I was expecting rock.
Right.
Not fake tubular bells.
Yeah, I wanted more rock in this. I wanted more, like we said, the punctuation with his hair blowing in the wind, with guitar. I mean, that would have been better. I really was expecting repo on this one. But I'm much happier with what I got. Because if you go back and listen to Repo, did not like that movie, or at least I did not.
We. You're the only one left who didn't like that movie.
That's very true. I am the only one who's still here. Very true. But I'm here to fight you on that one every step of the way until I am gone.
Brilliant.
It was bad. It was annoying. But that's not the movie we watched. But like I said, I did like the movie we got. It is insane. It's insane to me. I find the fascination in the story of Jon-Mikl Thor, in the fact that it seems like this was his thing, like this was his perceived maybe comeback in some ways, but this was definitely, to me, feels like his passion project. And I like that this movie was made with a total seriousness. It had to have been. It felt like it was. And that we got the movie we got. We got a movie with little one-eyed monsters. We got a devil alien that got fought at the end. And there was rock and roll in this movie. But if for nothing else, the last 20 minutes of this movie, I did not see coming. And I know we've said that we have to grade the movie on not the experience we had with everybody else, which was great, by the way, but based on the movie itself. And I think you should watch this movie. Holly, I think you should watch it again. It's insane.
I rented it on Amazon, which is why Sean is saying that.
It's insane. It's like we said, it's a bad movie, but it's insane. And you'll watch it, and you'll just be like, what? You won't know what to make of yourselves after watching this movie. But for that reason, I think you should see it. I think you have to see it. I recommend it. But there it is.
There it is.
All right.
It's bad.
This is why
it's
you
very
stick around.
bad.
This is why you stick around for wrap-ups, right here.
But I
think surprises the shit out of you. I didn't see that coming.
I think you should watch it.
So, Sean, I gotta say, I want you to think about what you just said while I read off. I took notes during this movie.
We didn't even hear the notes.
I took notes during this movie because I could tell right away I was gonna have a hard time focusing, and the only way I could focus is if I made myself take notes. Glad I did. So I want you to think about that while I read off some of these direct quotes from this movie. You guys never let me get to the butt. Mm-hmm. That was a line said within the first 15 minutes of this movie. Toronto is where it's happening.
Yep.
Don't think Toronto's where anything is happening currently.
Vancouver, maybe.
It's very cold.
In reference to that quote, they were talking about art music scene. They were basically saying it's LA, but yeah. Why couldn't you become a coke dealer or something sensible? That was a line said within the first 30 minutes of this movie.
I was actually just thinking that the other day.
This is a plus for this movie. Keep going.
Let's tune our weapons.
Oh, come on.
Let's tune our weapons.
They got the axe.
And when which character, I don't remember who because it doesn't matter, and he's not over by the stairs either. Some character pops out from under the stairs and says, and he's not over by the stairs either.
Because that's where he would hang out. The dialogue in this movie.
And then towards the end, I'm sure Phil's not dead or anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Great line. And then other
It's hard
notes.
to believe this was his first screenplay.
Right? I mean, genius, right on paper, right?
Yeah. Better than
My other notes are glitter jacket with tux tails and no shirt is really stupid. Sewing while a rock band is playing? ? No head on a bass is a weird choice.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's an AMC Pacer. I love those cars. I'm pretty sure it's from Wayne's World.
Yes. It is.
Public domain exorcist music everywhere.
Everywhere.
James Bond reference. Please stop.
Yeah. And the Terminator reference, too.
Studded codpiece? ? I guess I can get on board with this.
Yeah.
And the crew should really get better control of that oscillating fan. Was my last note of the night.
Plus, this is what I heard. Plus,
Reasons to watch this.
reasons to watch this movie. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I couldn't focus on this movie. I don't recommend it. So I'll pass it off to Holly.
That's one no, one yes. One, why the fuck did we watch this movie? Colin, I need you to answer that question for me. Not really, because we all kind of wanted to watch this movie.
We all did. We still watched the trailer.
Here's my thing. What trailer did we watch?
I just want to say I didn't watch any trailer for this movie. I had no say in that. So
I know the three of us watched a trailer at one point.
We did.
And it was not this movie.
I think we tried to find a trailer for it. We only saw like the 5-minute clips of the movies thing, and then we turned it off because we saw
like a scene from the movie of him fighting the squiddy things.
That's
Did
what
we see
saw.
that?
Well,
Set the music, and it was like, whoa, this is like going to be a scene from the movie. We should stop.
I think we saw it for like 10 seconds, him in his final outfit, and then we turned it off.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing I remember.
Because it was not what I was expecting.
No, me neither.
Not at all. Michaela and I were talking earlier. We kind of thought it was going to be more like the movie Heavy Metal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea that we had. And it was not. This movie was all over the place, and I don't know what place that was.
Hell? Or just on the edge of it?
purgatory.
Or what was the shower song? It was like someplace.
Over the rainbow? What?
No, the song they were playing in the shower was like someplace. I don't know.
That was
Anyway.
distracting during the shower scene.
I was going to say inappropriate, but it misses the mark. And okay.
It was no energy.
You shouldn't be playing this song here.
No,
the
it was-
energy song there.
Yeah.
Even better. It should be someplace. Where am I supposed to put it? Yeah.
It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
That's what I'm saying,
It was some odd lyrics like that.
Oh, God.
This is why you see the movie.
No, this is why you don't watch this movie.
don't watch it.
It was so awkward. The whole thing was just awful. It was so awkward. It was this was someone's hobby, like their project, and it did not go well. I just feel really bad for Jon-Mikl Thor.
I think I might like looking at the car wreck more than you guys do.
See, I think you're like thinking about what Colin said about the documentary about him and taking that to context while thinking about this movie.
Yeah, I agree. This never crosses into awesomely bad territory for me.
No.
It just stays in bad. It never crosses into awesomely bad for me.
It wants to go there. Like it's got the cheesy monsters, the weird little like gremlin dudes at the end with like the rock god outfit. Like it's trying to get there, but it never gets there.
Maybe I'm in awe of just that last 20 minutes that I was not expecting.
I think you are.
Do you think that has changed
I
me in
think
my
so.
view of this movie?
Because you were sitting back the whole time just saying, what the fuck, like the rest of us, and then the last 15 minutes you're on the edge of your seat.
But I like the whole,
and you were
like, what the hell's
blinded to
going
the
on?
first hour. Yeah, or less than an hour.
I don't know, maybe
whatever.
I was very influenced
Think
by
of
that
all the
last 20
van
minutes.
shots you had to watch.
So many van shots.
So many van shots. Oh, God. This movie has... Oh.
It's ruined you.
It has. No, like, I feel weak right now.
I feel weak.
I
will. You know what? I will say, after watching this movie, I didn't know if I had the energy to get through this podcast.
Thank you.
I will agree with you on that. I'm just like, why do I feel so depleted right now? What happened? I don't
You're
know
less
why.
of a person now because of this fucking movie.
Maybe.
That's it. If you want to watch it, you'll be less of a person. There you go. That's my
might be
review.
I just had an explosion of joy at the end of the movie, and felt all wiped
Maybe
out.
that was it.
You
Maybe I was
lost
so
your
down, and then I got something so out of it. I was just like, whoa!
I want to like map a chart of your like attention to this movie and see how it changes throughout.
That shower scene is peaked for some reason. All right, now we're back down.
boobs! Yay! What? No.
Off the charts for alien demons. That is possible.
Colin, bring us home.
Well,
Colin.
for people who share
you think about this
Sean's, love for this movie, it doesn't have to end here, Sean. Because what I neglected
God.
to tell you is that John.
You always hold something back, goddammit. He's always got something he knows and leaves for the end.
What would you think of Intercessor, another rock and roll nightmare?
What?
Yes.
Don't make
Oh,
us
yes.
watch.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's
Can I find
on,
it?
Daily
YouTube.
Motion.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
my
from
God.
2009.
Great.
They went
Is
back
it
and
his
made-
pick
Goodbye.
next week, too?
Bye.
Fuck, we're all fucked for next week now. Great.
It's Sean's pick next week.
Oh,
yes.
shit, it is.
Yeah, so we're all fucked now.
Intercessor.
Intercessor.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks for that.
Because that was it. Was I am the intercessor? Yeah.
Oh, is that what he
The
said? I could
angel,
barely make
yeah.
out any demon
Yeah.
alien
Oh.
dialogue.
I mean, I love bad movies. I've had several of them on this show. We've watched bad movies. I think the worst movie that we've ever watched on this show is a movie called Mean Guns.
Mean Guns.
That was the absolute worst. And I'm going to say that was worse than Rock and Roll Nightmare because it didn't have monsters in it. Yeah. At least this had rubber monsters.
low bar.
And somehow that gives it the edge over Mean Guns, the 4-hour Ice Cube and Christopher Lambert shoot 'em up.
Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. But
See,
this
on
was,
paper, that sounds great.
Yeah, but it's Albert
Sure.
Pun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pune, whatever.
Pune. He was doing a new movie lately. I forgot. Continue.
But we're not going to see that one either. Hopefully, it was the sequel to Streets of Fire.
Oh, God,
The
Streets
Road
of
to
Fire is so
Nowhere.
bad. Oh, maybe I'll make all you guys watch that sometime when it's my
watched it
pick.
already.
Oh,
Streets of Fire. We did. Yeah, we did.
But yeah, this is all sorts of bad. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can sit there and you can make fun of it, but I think aside from the gloriousness of the end, where legitimately, I think,
very
like
glorious.
Sean, it's like that's the part where you can sit there, you see it in the trailers, or you see it in the artwork or images from the movie. It all comes from the end of the movie, where Thor.
Yeah,
goes
I say don't look at any
full
of don't look
god.
at any of that before going into this movie.
Well, that's because that's all there is to it. There's that last 10-minute music video where he fights the big rubber, marionette.
Yeah.
Before that, as Michaela and Holly were pointing out, it's shots of people driving around for 40 minutes. It's another 20 minutes of people establishing shots of a house. And then there's a couple of moments of, a point of view camera running around. And then just, people trying to figure out what the fuck are we going to do to fill time between this scene and the next one. We don't even know what the next one is. We don't care. Somebody's going to get killed off shadow or off screen. We're going to see
Somebody's
going
going
to
to be in a bedroom or a bathroom.
Yeah. It's really desperate. It's just bad on all accounts. I mean, it is probably one of the worst things that I've ever seen. So, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, and that's where I'm like, I have not seen Troll 2, right? I saw the movie about Troll 2, but I didn't actually see Troll 2 because they said it's like one of the worst movies ever made. I don't need to go
Has anybody
there.
here seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
But you didn't see
I've never
Best
seen-
Worst
no, I've
Movie?
never
or-
seen the Best Worst Movie
That's
Yeah.
entertaining, but just from what you see in that, you're like, that looks like Rock and Roll Nightmare. I thought this movie was going to be more rock and roll. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's a thing that, I assumed, because it was in with, Black Rose's Trick or Treat. And, I think, when you think of the heavy metal horror movie, Deathgasm notwithstanding, from that era, you see, I see Trick or Treat, Black Roses, and then I've heard about this Rock and Roll Nightmare, and then you got October Blood or whatever comes below that. So I thought it was going to have somehow the music was going to be more integral to the story. Like maybe they play the devil's music and, the devil demon creatures come up, and attack them all or possess them all or whatever the hell.
Or at least they defeat the final monster by playing.
Yeah, by rocking him to
rocking
death.
him to death.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. It's like it's almost incidental, the fact
Like
that these
light
people
energy
play
flying
any
out of
kind
the
of music.
guitar to kill
Yes,
him.
yes,
Yeah.
right? See that?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is what it should have been.
Yes.
Right.
We wanted to rock.
Yeah, they killed them with
We
the
did.
power of their rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
The power of rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all we wanted.
But that isn't what we got. And so based on what we got, I can't in good conscience tell you, listener, that you have to go see this because you'll hate us. And if you do. So I'm going to say skip give it a wide berth. Not like you're ever going to be able to find it anyway because we had to track it down. But it is available on Amazon Instant Video and on special edition DVD from Synapse Film.
I say Synapse.
So, that's a big no. So next week, if you stick with us, Sean is going to pick the movie. What are we going to watch next week, Sean?
We're going to watch the Charlie Sheen vehicle, The Arrival.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Is this like counter-programming Arrival with The Arrival?
I think it was on my list before we got into the viewers' choices stuff and before we got into Christmas. Okay. So it's been delayed for a while, but now we'll finally get to it. Charlie Sheen.
What'd you leave you like that?
That's
Charlie
it.
Sheen.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen. You're getting Charlie Sheen next.
What era of Charlie Sheen is this?
This is
the good era.
So good era. Okay.
This is like
late 90s.
This is
like
90s.
Post Major League.
Yes.
Okay.
This is from the director of Pitch Black before he did Pitch Black.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'm sold.
I'll take it.
So that's next week on the Saturday Night Freak Show. And until then, the basement is going dark.